Respected and distinguished colleagues. I am Suleiman Abrahaman Kawu Sumaila, representing Kano South Senatorial District from Kano. Mr. President, I don't want to say much because my two august, Senator Paisa Nanga and Senator Adamar Leru, said it all. But I have an information to share with this parliament of necessity to have this kind of institution in Kura or in Kano State in general. Kura is part of Kano Central Senatorial District, where my big brother is representing. Well, I am representing Kano South Senatorial District, where the dams which feed Kura and remaining part of irrigation areas are from Kano South Senatorial District. And like what Senator Aliru said, since 1976 and subsequently 1990, when General Ibrahim Badamasi Babangida constructed the second largest dam in Kano, Chalawa, there was no additional work up to today for over 30 years. But Mr. President, my dear colleague, because of the necessity and the need for Nigeria to shift from the status quo to become self-sufficient country, Mr. President and Commander-in-Chief Bola Ahmed Tinubu, after I put request on behalf of the people of Kano South Senatorial District, of course, some of the areas where the Senator Rufaisa Hananga is representing, he graciously approved our request for rehabilitation and reactivating our Kano irrigation scheme, starting from Karaye, Rogo, Chalawa, Goje Dam, Tiga Dam, and Kapunchiri. Mr. President, in his wisdom and love for Nigeria to be self-sufficient in line with his renewed hope agenda, he approves a sum of 95 billion naira for us. For over 50 years, there was nothing around that area which you can say we benefited, more especially the irrigation area and the dam. Now, the process is almost completed. 90% of the process is completed. Soon, the contractors will mobilize to the site and will activate the dam and the irrigation area. Currently, in Tiga area, we have almost 9 hectares, which is there for almost 50 years. Now, there was additional 6,000 hectares from Mr. President Bola Ahmed Asiwaju, and another 3,000 hectares from Karaye, Rogo, and that angle up to Kiru, where the Rogo, where the Kura, where my Oga is pleading with this parliament to support this, the establishment of this university, are direct beneficiaries of all these 3 dams. Therefore, I am urging the people who are the filed this National Assembly to approve this request, to have this kind of institution in line with Mr. President's renewed agenda. Actually, on behalf of the 16 or almost 19 local government around that area, we appreciate and we thank, and we are looking forward to have a robust agricultural system which will sustain Nigeria, inshallah. Thank you, Mr. President. Thank you, my colleague, of supporting this kind of very important legislation. Thank you.
Let me thank for the information he has given to the Senate on the President's efforts to revive the agricultural potentials of Kano. You mentioned that he has approved about 95 billion for the rehabilitation of the major dam. And then the other 3 smaller dams are also being rehabilitated. I think this information is not known to the public. So this is very good, and I commend President Bola Ahmed Tinubu for what he has done, not just for the people of Kano, because any food that is produced in Kano, it can be sold anywhere. In the south, we depend on a lot of tomatoes that used to come from the north. It's insurgency that tended to reduce the quantity of yam, rice, tomato, particularly onions in the whole south. Everything used to come from Kano, Kaduna area. So now that Mr. President has put in such a chunk of funds to revive those dams, I can imagine the kind of agricultural renaissance that would take place there. So a university seems very apt. I'm only supporting it. Distinguished Deputy Senate President,
Thank you, Mr. President. Mr.
So
President,
Senator Ningi said when next you meet the president, don't talk only for Kano. That Bauchi is waiting for the same 95 billion.
Thank you, Mr. President. Barrow Jibrin Kano knows. Mr. President, I wholeheartedly support